Hi guys, it's Amy with A to Z Stamping, and today I'm going to show you a really simple card using the sheet music stamp. I love this. So this is a background stamp. All you get is this giant piece of sheet music. Let me show you here. And it is a clear mount stamp, so it comes on red rubber. You can get it on a block. Otherwise, you need to have the, let's see, what do we call this one? You need to have the F block. But you can also get it on a wood block if you want. So it's just this one big giant background stamp, and I'm going to show you a really sweet simple card. Okay, so I have my stamp here, and I'm going to take my basic black ink pad, and I like to ink it up first. I like to ink them up this, I like to ink the background stamps up this way. If you took my Definitely Dahlia and Hardwood class, you should be familiar with this technique right now. And I am going to be doing a class using the sheet music background stamp. Maybe it might be next week. Anyways, be looking for that. But anyway, so we want to ink this up really well. Okay, that looks good. We set my ink pad aside. And then I'm going to take a piece of very vanilla cardstock right here. And let's see, this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And what I like to do is I want to decide where I want my paper, and I like to very carefully, so this is smaller than my background is what I'm trying to say. So I want to decide where I want to put it, and I'm going to just gently set it on there like so. Okay, and I'm just going to press, press, press. You can just use your fingers to press. Now you can flip it over and press down, or you could even lay your paper down flat and do your stamp over it if you want. It doesn't really matter. This is just how I'm doing this since my paper is smaller than my... Okay, so let's see. This should be good. And let me lift it up. And perfect. There we go. All right, that's just looks good to me. So there we go. And I want to clean my background stamp. So let me grab my scrub real quick. And it's my wet side. And I'm just going to rub, rub, rub. And dry it. And it's all clean and ready to be put away. Okay. All right, so now we can just layer our card together. I actually have one more thing I want to stamp though. I have this little tiny piece of very vanilla cardstock. I'm not even sure. I think it's 3/4. It's 3/4, and it looks to be about 2, yep, by 2.5. So this is 3/4 by 2.5, and I'm using the stamp that's just a note. And it's from the Soft Sayings card kit. This is the stamp set that came with if you bought the Soft Sayings card kit. And this has a bunch of different really sweet sentiments in it. And anyway, this one's just a note, which is perfect to go with our musical note paper. So I'm just going to ink that up. Just a note. And let me do my best to line it up on my very messy grid paper here. This is when the grid paper comes in handy though. So since it's clear mount, I can lay it down and stamp. Oh, it's a little bit too high. You see that? Okay, so remember every piece of paper has 2 sides. I'm actually going to pull it closer to me. You guys might not be able to see it as well. Okay. There we go. That's perfect. Look at that. All right, let me clean off my stamp. Close up my ink. Okay, and I wanted to just distress this a tiny bit. So I'm taking one of our little sponge daubers here. Actually, I need the black again. And I'm just going to dip it in there, and I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of run it over the edges like this. Let me get a little more ink here. Okay. Go all the way down. I just didn't want the total harshness of that very vanilla. Okay, and that's it. Okay. All right, and this is my sponge dauber, and these come in, I think a pack of 5, might be 5 or 6 in a pack, and they're really inexpensive. Okay, now I can put my card together. Okay, so I have a piece of our thick, very vanilla cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And let me use my bone folder. Okay, and then I have a piece of basic black cardstock, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to mount this onto that. Okay. I think I have some black ink on my hand, so I'm starting to smudge everywhere. All right, there's that. And I have this piece of basic black cardstock, and And let's see, what are you cut at? You are cut at 4 by 3/4. Okay, so this one must have been at 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by 2.5. All right, so I'll make sure that the dimensions of that one were correct. Okay, so again, this was 4 by 3/4, and we're going to stick that on. I'm gonna go about right here. It should go all the way over the black edges. Okay. And then I have a piece of our natural gold trim ribbon. I've already just cut a piece off here. And I'm going to wrap this around like so. And I'm just gonna draw a straight line across with my adhesive and stick this down. And then while this is upside down, I get my adhesive on all 4 sides. Come on. And this is going to go right here, like so. Okay, and then just a note, I'm going to stick this on with my dimensionals. So I'm going to stick 1, 2, and 3. Stick 3 on the back. 1. Aren't you so glad every piece of paper has 2 sides? Because you know what? Sometimes stamping isn't perfect. And I always tell you guys, when I make a mistake, I don't edit it out because I want to show you how I fix it. All right, and this is going to go right here in the middle. Just a note. Isn't that so cute? And that's it. There's my card. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this. And here's one I did earlier. Isn't it so pretty? I really love this background stamp. And these background stamps are quite large. The actual stamped image part ends up being about 4.5 by, I would say it's about 5 3/4. So you could do a lot. You can cover a large space with these. They look great on scrapbook pages too and stuff like that. Now it is kind of hard. This one is a really easy one to be able to stamp like a whole 12 by 12 sheet because you don't have to connect anything. You just want to keep going. So this is a great stamp to have for stuff like this. You guys, seriously, isn't that so sweet and so simple? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this card and you'll consider checking out the sheet music background stamp. And make sure you guys visit me at a2zstamping.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.